family farm. On our way to do a little prospecting. Going through the black cherry orchard. In progress, of course, as you can see. Here we are driving over a granite apophysis. Over the some cyanitic granite from the Lincoln Batholith complex. Woohoo! So we're coming back here to cut ourselves a path to the old prospect. Let's go. Alright, so we've landed that bad boy here in the middle of the field. There's an old logging road over here that I'm going to bushwhack, which is overgrown a bit. And I gotta follow that downhill in that direction to the east to find that quartz I found in the bedrock, and that's our goal today. All right, well, we've found the old trail, and it's not gonna be terribly too far up this path. Luckily the deer have kept it worn down for us over the years. As you can see, it's quite rough here. All right, so here's the main drag. I came in through a deer path, but here's the overgrown exit to the field, which I should just clear out first. So I'll do that so I can drive up in here. This is still decent enough to drive in. Got some nice birch growing here. Got a frog or a snake down there somewhere. Looks normal. Yeah, this is the field. So, see, the deer have been using this path here as well. So this is what I'll cut open to drive down. All right, got that cut open. There's the ATV out there. And back into the woods we go. So I have a side path, I should say, up here on the right that I'm going to keep clear. It's a lot of, I wouldn't say quite pegmatitic granite, but how would you say, decomposing granites of a medium-sized grain structure. That's how I'll describe it right now. And that's is what the ground looks like toward the granite. So I'll show you that once we get to that part. So as I go uphill, this more float, the granite's getting interesting, like so. The grain size is getting larger, and we're getting closer to that turnoff. So let's keep on going. I'm glad I don't have to cut back the brush. The forest has done a pretty decent job of maintaining this path. So my memory is a little rusty because it's been over a month since I've been out here. But here, this granite here is very suggestive that we're getting into a bedrock zone, or close to a bedrock zone. You can see that that's a bit deteriorated. I believe this path connects to the skidder path that I'm looking for that goes down to what I like to call a seasonal brook. It likes to run only when it rains. But yeah, I think we're getting much closer to the path that I'm looking for here. These two run concurrent to each other. There's one that runs down here, and then that's the one I just came off of back there. I have no memory of this place. Something tells me my turnoff is a little further up though. So you can see here, this is some of that float. The grain size of the granite is getting larger. It's a good sign. Hopefully it just gets bigger. So I believe that is the path according to my Google Earth plan here. Pegmatite bedrock. There we go. That's that direction. So let's head that way. So here I am at another fork. Thank goodness for Google Earth, because I already was here and marked it. We got a widowmaker leaning over the trail. So we come through there and we bear right. So when we head to the 1 foot wide quartz vein as marked on the map, And to the left of that on the map was the pegmatite boulder, or what I call pegmatite. I should really say decomposing granite of a medium grain size boulder. It was very generous to call it pegmatite. It's not really a pegmatite, but it's definitely a slower cooling rock because the grain size is larger, so that's why I have hope for it. As I'm going up the path, the granite's grain size is getting larger. That's a good sign. Well, despite all the mosquitoes, we finally made it. There's the uphill gradient. There's an uphill gradient here. We got the quartz vein in the ground over here, and I'll show you that in just a second. We got some very interesting bedrock here. This is some sort of feldspar mixed with some, not a calcite, but a quartz, maybe even a mica. Definitely a different type of rock going on here. More of that decomposing rock granite. So let me show you what's going on over there. So here's a piece of granite I want to bring to your attention. You can see that the grain size is much larger, crystal size. Pull off some of that moss, you can definitely see how the grain size is getting bigger. So that's a good sign. You can literally just pull the granite apart. That's what I mean. It's decaying, it's decomposing. Got a plane flying overhead. That's normal. I think the USGS is doing a magnetometry readings. I think it's been about 40 years, so they're upgrading that. But here we got a piece of glacial float or an erratic there. You got some very like peletic schist or an argillite of some sort. Bedrock peeking out of the leaves there. So we're gonna follow this float. See how there's more of that schist up in this direction, up that deer path. We got quartz float, or is that bedrock? Quartz bedrock here. No, that's float. That's just in there pretty good. So we're getting quartz float from up on this ridge here, which tells me a lot of things. Tells me something didn't want to move under those glaciers 10,000 years ago. There's a good amount of quartz float I'm discovering in this trail. It's a little disconcerting, like maybe it was unearthed on purpose and left scattered about. But look, here's some more. All leading up that old trail. But this is in the direction that I discovered in that old seasonal brook, the quartz vein. So this all makes sense. This all makes geologic sense. There it is. Piece of like Paleozoic quartz, probably Devonian or Silurian. Tilted into that bedrock a long time ago. Look at that mineralization going on there. It's certainly brecciated. Some organic material still in there, but mineralized, brecciated, on a hill that's resisted glaciation. Man, these are some serious telltale signs. So I've noticed here that this is where the quartz is coming out of the ground. These trees are breaking it up out of the, you can see these little knolls, and the trees are breaking up the bedrock right underneath the surface. And that quartz vein that crosses that seasonal brook is right over here. You can see a drop off in the distance, and that's where the brook runs through. You can see that is actually quartz. That's an entire vein. That's that 1 foot vein of quartz. See, that comes from that 1 foot vein. It's been pushed out. It's been rolled. I'm assuming maybe it's a little bit further up. But it's a little bit rolled. And now, being on the southeast and south side of the hill, the glacier didn't hit this with the hardest force. It hit the other side first. And this side took a little bit less force. Not as much, but, you know, glaciers will be glaciers. But this side was protected in a manner of speaking. So, I'm going to cut back this brush. Yeah, make myself a path here. All right, we're almost there. You can definitely see that drop off now. This terrain is very interesting. I'm looking forward to digging test pits, trenches, and probably an adit into this hill and timber it up in the old way. Yeah, this is it, guys. This is exactly where I was prospecting a month and a half ago. If you follow me on my personal channel, the Bonsai Blacksmith, I did share this quartz discovery prospecting about 6 weeks ago. Here we go. This is that seasonal brook where I did that prospecting. Yep. We're essentially right near those quartz veins. Man, I love this place. Not much water there, just a little bit. You couldn't have panned if you wanted to. But trust me, when it rains, it comes down through. Doing a little surface geology. That 1-inch boulder float was over there. I mean, 1 foot boulder float. Come down this line here. You can see bits of quartz there. Bits of quartz on the other side there. I'm assuming it's what causes this jaunt in the brook. Yeah, so a lot happened here. There's actually a fault. There's a lineament running through here. At least one where the bedrock changes direction. And if I can find it today, I'll show you. I'll have to show it to you in part 2 when I start breaking ground here. So here I am down in the seasonal creek bed or brook bed. You can see the bedrock there hiding in the shadows, foliated at a steep angle to the west. And that changes as you go up around this bend. There's some quartz in situ here running into the earth that direction, which runs in that direction that way, which explains why the brook runs along the weak spot, right? I mean, if it has, is this where the lineament / fault is, where the bedrock changes angle and the quartz intruded? That makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? So I just took this piece of host rock with quartz on it. Get back in the sunlight. It's getting near the end of the day here, but this material here, I'm looking for mineralization. I don't see too much. There's some mineralization on there, but nothing to write home to mom about. Here's that piece of quartz I picked up on the other side of this hill, right over there. I picked it on the other side, maybe 150 feet away. That's float. But that's float, that's coming right out of the ground fresh. And as I put these two down, I look behind me and like, lo and behold, there's a piece of quartz that's stuck in the earth here. There, see, boom, see, that's fresh right out of the hole. Wow, that's bull quartz for sure, lots of it, big piece. So this whole hill is like a giant piece of quartz. So it's definitely worth investigating to see what's trapped in there with that quartz. Now, the one thing I am finding quite interesting about this quartz is they all have this red, it's like iron, I guess it could be an iron oxide there. So does this piece. This one does, also has it, see what I mean? But that's not your typical red. I like that though. Hopefully, I think that brown down there is more of the typical, what I'm used to for iron oxidation. That red is a little bit more spectacular. The best thing about prospecting on your own land is usually you can just leave these things behind and not have to worry about it. I'll come back tomorrow or the next day. And that's my plan. I need extra hands just to fight off the mosquitoes. But here's that, I'm down in the old seasonal brook. I'm checking out all the quartz fragments down here. There's one there. There's more down here. Plenty scattered there. And the veins are just on the other side of that turn up ahead. Now I'll just take you guys over here, exploring this rock and the trees with me. I'm bushwhacking my way through here. Bushwhacking, bushwhacking. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta pick the right path. Sometimes some doesn't look good for the footing. You definitely don't want to fall on these rocks. Been there, done that. So yeah, we're getting closer where that bedrock changes angle. Yeah, these brooks and rivers and streams are so good as geologic lenses. So here is where things do change up. We have the foliation changes to maybe from an 80 degree to more of like a 45 degree. And if you keep going around the bend here, it even goes more horizontal. Here you can see that the paletic schist, the shale, is almost facing straight up. That foliation is almost vertical. And as you move up here, you can see the foliation changes drastically. Here's a piece of that quartz vein broken out of the bedrock and washed down, a few pieces with it, into the brook bed, because that vein is over here. We're about to get to it. Here's a closer look on that different foliation of the bedrock. Yeah, we're coming up now officially on the vein that the brook cut through. And that's right where that bedrock again changes direction. I think it's 3 times. There is the quartz vein in the rock itself, in several places, running right through here. And that quartz vein then stops right around here, and then it's broken. If you look here, it breaks a little bit, so it goes like this and then like this. Vein, vein, pieces of vein now. Vein, 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 and into the bedrock itself, into the hill. So that's what's going on there. But that's just one part. Now, the glacier hit from that backside and pushed that float up and over that hill down over there. That explains why we have so much glacial broken quartz float over there. It wouldn't be actually from this broken vein, because that would have been traveling down this much lower point. So walking down that stream bank, I found this beautiful specimen. Goethite, maybe? I don't know, man. I've never seen goethite make crystals like that before. What do you guys think this is? If it came out a piece of quartz next to it, but definitely came out of next to the quartz vein. What's going on with these crystals, though? What do I have here? I am not 100% sure. This is very cool, though. I'm gonna have to do some porcelain tests. I only have some simple prospecting tests available to me. Oh, I wish I had an XRF gun. All right, say goodbye to the seasonal brook for now. We are heading back over the hill to where that quartz float is, and where probably the future adits are going to be, to exploit some of these minerals we're finding here in the ground. And this will be the main access trail where this old skidder / deer path is, where all that float is sitting, and we'll just chase that float into the hillside. Yeah, I'm excited. I just thought this was going to be a fun little prospecting adventure. Maybe find amethyst, or maybe find a few pieces of quartz bound gold, but I mean, I did already find some of that. That nothing like those crazy crystals I just showed you. So that's a lot to think about. And I just realized I forgot to show you that 1 foot thick float down here. We have another vein down here. So we have a vein down here and a vein uphill down there, and on the other side of that hill we have more veins in the brook. So that's a crazy state of affairs for a lonely prospector like myself. All right, we're back to the field. I think this is a fairly successful outing today. And over there's another brook I've been prospecting, and I'm excited to show you all. All right, so I've made it back to the UTV, and I'm all packed up and ready to go. If you have any questions about today's prospecting, please put it in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you'd like to see more prospecting or blacksmithing, mining, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.